By 1994, fighting wildfire had come a long way from the days when a ranger recruited a fire crew by clearing out the local saloons, spurred by the needs of an expanding population dependent on fire control and by budget cutbacks and consolidations. The cost of fighting wildfire in an average year is a substantial $1 billion. The federal government, starting in the 1960s, began to blend together the various agencies responsible for fire. It was no easy task, and every day remained far from complete. The Forest Service, which had long reigned supreme in wildland firefighting, struggled to cooperate with rival agencies, the BLM in particular. The BLM's acreage, the land nobody but God and the BLM could love, receives less public attention, being the leftovers from the Homestead Act, the Forest Services, National Park Services, and other agencies, but the BLM is the nation's number one landholder, 268 million acres, including most public lands in Alaska, compared to 191 million acres for the number two landholder, the Forest Service. Since the 1960s, the federal government has built its own summer army of trained firefighters, numbering about 10,000. These range from migrant farm workers on emergency call to the highly trained smoke jumpers and hotshots, ground crews of mostly college-age youngsters who fight the bigger fires. The emblem of the fire season in the West has become a row of school buses loaded with youthful firefighters, their ashen faces nodding in exhaustion above grimy yellow shirts. At the time of the Southern Canyon Fire, the headquarters for the firefighting system had just acquired a new name, the National Interagency Fire Center, and a new brick and glass administrative building, finished only that April. The center, known as the NIFC, is at the Boise Airport, giving Boise a claim to be the nation's capital for fighting wildland fire. NIFC was known before 1993, first as the Great Basin Fire Center, and then as the Boise Interagency Fire Center, as it evolved from regional to national responsibilities. The NIFC site in Boise, owned and managed by the BLM, hosts 6 federal agencies concerned with fire: the BLM, the Forest Service, National Park Service, Fish and Wildlife Service, Bureau of Indian Affairs, and National Weather Service. As monitors of the national fire situation, NIFC commands the smoke jumpers and hotshots, also known as Type 1 crews, as well as teams of fire supervisors in the heaviest aircraft and tankers and the biggest helicopters. Together, they are known as the National Resources and are first to be dispatched across regional boundaries in bad fire seasons such as in 1988 when fires swept Yellowstone National Park. The federal government can summon the U.S. military to help on the line. The United States even has mutual cooperation agreements with Canadian provinces. Once assigned by the NIFC, personnel and equipment come under local control as they engage individual fires. Brochures proclaim NIFC the fulfillment of the interagency cooperation at its best, but in 1994, as well as today, that amounted to overstatement. NIFC occupies a sprawling complex, a city or campus unto itself. The NIFC warehouse has the largest cache of fire equipment in the country. Its catalog runs to 222 pages. Its radio shop services thousands of handheld radios, telephones, and other communications gear. Its machine shop develops new fire engines from scratch, and it has offices for infrared mapping, aerial imagery, weather data collection, and other tactical services.